Hello and welcome to another tutorial on the Kurzweil Forte stage piano workstation synthesizer. Today I will talk about programs in multimode. Dave Weiser actually asked me to make a little tutorial on how to work with program effects in multimode. So for example, let's build a multi with a few pianos stacked on top to each other. So let's make a layer. Let's add like an FM piano. Let's activate zone 3 and add CP80. Let's have a listen. And let's add a pad, like Solarge pad. So here we have 4 zones out of the 16 possible zones. And now we can take a look at the effects. You see that these 4 zones already consume 24 units of effects. And the first channel, which is our grand here, consumes 11 of these 24, which is pretty much, because if you add more zones, you will run out of effects blocks quite quickly. So what can we do? Let's switch this all to 0 first. You see, the aux effects channel is 1. So if the aux effects are not overridden, like here, no and no, then it takes the aux effects of channel 1, which is the damper verb and the actual reverb of this piano. The damper verb is only activated when you press the sustain pedal, and it should simulate the body of the piano actually. In pop context or something like this, if you play in a cover band, if you play in a band actually on stage, then I would switch it just off and override it with none. You won't need this atmosphere in a band, in my opinion. But you see, we just saved 2 effects units. With the aux 1, we cannot save that much because probably we're gonna set up our own reverb anyway. So, what can we do? We see channel 1 consumes 9 effects boxes. Channel 2, 4, 4, and 5. So we can switch off 1, 3, and 4 and take a look at 2, zone 2. We're only listening now. This FM piano. Let's just disable the inside effect. And you see, we save those 4 effects blocks. How does it sound? Not that much difference actually. So let's just turn it off. And we are at 18 now. What about the next, the CP80? Let's turn it off. We can turn it off. The next is the pad. We can turn it off actually. And we reduced the effects blocks from 24 to 9 with just switching out the inside effect that is not needed. So let me just explain. In program mode, if you play the Forte in program mode, so like just in a session where you just need a Rhodes or a piano or an organ or something, then you can play it in program mode, and then it makes sense that you have all these effects already assigned. So you have the Rhodes with a chorus, with a phaser, with a distortion, and you have to, sometimes you have to activate it. So the effect is still there, but it's not activated, and it doesn't affect the sound actually out of the box. So that's why you can switch off the insert effects quite often. Actually, it won't affect the sound that much. Okay, so what about when we can't disable the effect because it is necessary for the sound, but we want to reduce the effects blocks this program uses? So let's go to Overview. Let's open the Rich Grand. FEF1 is Edit. And let's go to the effects. You see there are 4 effects units and it takes 8 out of the 9. Let's go into the effect. We have the filter, we have the string resonance. The filter actually is an EQ, the string resonance, a chorus and a delay. Chorus and delay aren't activated actually in the program. So we could just delete this one. Both of them consuming 1 block. Remove, remove. Save. We save the effects chain to a user ID. We go out. And we save the program to a user program. You can rename it if you like. Save it. And you save the effects blocks here. Back into the multi-mode. Here is your updated user program with reduced effects blocks. Let's go back to the effects page. Let's now say we want to put a reverb on the whole multi and send the programs individually with individual sends to this reverb. Okay, as said, we have to override it to take our own chain. I like the real nice verb. And now let's send our programs into the reverb. Where is the reverb? It's not there. So here again the mod override comes into play. The mod override is by standard set to none. And none means that for all the channels the individual master send fader settings are used. So if, for example, in channel 1 our piano is stored with slider I to 0, then it takes this as a master send. And no matter how much you put in here, it won't get any reverberation. So you either can set up your own override controller, like slider I, also in multi-mode, or you just set it to on. And on means that all the programs get 127 for a master aux send. And now, here is the reverb. Let's just put the piano to 30, FM to 40, CP to 40, and the pad a little bit more. Let us adjust the volumes a bit, maybe to 90, and the pad more in the background. Nice. Let's put it a little back again. So we started with 24 units, now we are at 8. So if you're building multis with a lot of zones, a lot of programs, you definitely have to look upon the effects blocks. You can disable them, the insert effects. You can edit the program and the effects chain, and leaving out all the blocks you don't need there, and save it as a user object, as a user effect chain and a user program. Don't worry, you have a lot of room for your user objects, so if you ran out of effects, just edit it and leave them out. So, that's all. Thank you for watching, and see you for the next tutorial. Bye!